Welcome to the exercise classroom, anatomical, biomechanical and practical exercise education. Today's lesson, seated row. Introduction. The seated row is a compound back exercise that targets multiple muscle groups through horizontal pulling. Performed on a cable or machine row station, this exercise is fundamental for building back thickness, improving posture, and enhancing pulling strength. It is a staple in resistance training programs for both beginners and advanced lifters. Body contour benefits. The seated row helps build thickness through the middle and upper back, particularly by developing the latissimus dorsi, rhomboids, and rear deltoids. Consistent training enhances upper body symmetry, creates a more pronounced V-taper, and defines the area along the spine, contributing to a strong, athletic upper back appearance. Strengthening these muscles also counteracts poor posture from prolonged sitting or forward rounded shoulders. The movement. The primary joint action during the seated row is shoulder extension, as the arms are pulled backward from a flexed position. Additionally, there is elbow flexion, as the forearms contract to pull the resistance toward the torso. The seated row improves upper body pulling strength, posture, and scapular control, key for daily activities like lifting and for balanced back development. It reinforces good pulling mechanics useful in sports, fitness, and injury prevention. Exercise execution. Sit upright on the rowing machine or cable row bench with knees slightly bent and feet flat on the platform. Grasp the handle, V-bar or straight bar, with a neutral or overhand grip, arms extended but not locked. Keep your chest tall, spine neutral, and shoulders drawn back slightly. Initiate the pull by driving your elbows back along your sides. Focus on squeezing your shoulder blades together as you bring the handle toward your torso, typically just below the chest. Avoid leaning back excessively or shrugging the shoulders. Pause briefly at the peak of contraction. Then, slowly reverse the movement by extending your arms forward under control, allowing the shoulder blades to protract without rounding the back. Proper technique. Maintain a tall, upright spine with retracted scapulae to ensure full range of motion and minimize low back stress. Pull the handles until your elbows pass your torso and your shoulder blades are fully retracted. Avoid excessive backward lean or shortening the motion, as this limits back muscle engagement. The most common mistake is leaning too far back and using body momentum to pull the weight, which reduces back muscle activation and places strain on the lower spine. Muscle mechanics. The seated row begins with an eccentric contraction of the back muscles as you extend your arms and lean slightly forward at the hips. During the pulling phase, the latissimus dorsi and rhomboids contract concentrically to bring the shoulder blades together and extend the shoulders. The biceps brachii and brachialis assist with elbow flexion, also through concentric contraction. At the end of the pull, a strong isometric contraction stabilizes the scapulae in retraction before transitioning back to a controlled eccentric return. Proper muscle control throughout the range ensures optimal back engagement and reduces risk of compensation by the shoulders or arms. Primary movers. The primary mover in the seated row is the latissimus dorsi, which extends the shoulder joint by drawing the upper arm backward. The rhomboid major and minor retract the scapulae, bringing the shoulder blades together as you complete the row. The trapezius, middle fibers, also assists in scapular retraction and postural alignment during the movement. Other muscle roles. The pectoralis major and anterior deltoid act as antagonists by controlling the return of the arms forward during the eccentric phase. The posterior deltoid, teres major, and biceps brachii serve as synergists, assisting in shoulder extension and elbow flexion. The erector spinae, trapezius, lower fibers, and rectus abdominis function as stabilizers, maintaining trunk posture and spinal alignment throughout the movement. Biomechanical considerations. Torso angle. Maintaining an upright or slightly reclined torso optimizes engagement of the lats and mid-back while minimizing lower back stress. Grip width. A shoulder width or slightly wider grip enhances lat activation and allows a natural range of motion at the shoulder joint. Scapular retraction. Actively squeezing the shoulder blades together at the end of the pull enhances activation of the rhomboids and lower trapezius. Wrist and elbow path. Keeping the elbows close to the torso and pulling in a straight path toward the abdomen improves mechanical efficiency and muscle targeting. Training effectiveness and optimization. Full range of motion. Pull the handle completely to your torso while allowing full extension of the arms during the return to maximize muscle recruitment. Pause and squeeze. Briefly pause at the peak contraction with shoulder blades fully retracted to enhance mid-back engagement and strength gains. Controlled tempo. A slow eccentric return phase increases time under tension and promotes greater hypertrophy. Progressive overload. Gradually increase resistance or repetitions over time to continue improving back strength and muscle size. Safety and injury prevention. Spinal alignment. Maintain a neutral spine throughout the movement by keeping the chest lifted and avoiding excessive backward lean to prevent lower back strain. Controlled movement. Avoid jerking or using momentum when pulling the handle. This reduces joint stress and ensures proper muscle activation. Shoulder protection. Do not allow the shoulders to round forward at the start or end of the movement, as this can increase the risk of shoulder impingement. Foot position and bracing. Keep feet flat and securely planted on the platform while bracing the core to protect the lumbar spine and enhance overall stability. Variations and alternatives. Resistance band row. A portable variation that mimics the seated row pattern using resistance bands, suitable for beginners or for warm-up sets. Barbell bent over row. A free weight compound movement that trains the same major muscles but requires more core and lower back engagement for postural support. Machine lat pull down, close grip. Although a vertical pull, this exercise targets the lats and biceps similarly and can be used to complement or substitute when horizontal pulling isn't an option. T-bar row. A compound back exercise performed with a neutral grip that emphasizes mid-back thickness and offers a different angle of pull than the seated row. Mastering the seated row strengthens your entire upper back while reinforcing good posture, making it an essential pulling movement for total body balance and function.